course, you are welcome to the biggest entertainment show on the planet. Of course, I'm still your host to the most, too much sauce on your screen, Afegbua or Shunke. And of course, you never know what to expect on this show because we always bring you super duper dope personalities that are always here to grace our screens. And of course, I hope you guys are ready for this one because this is one of the biggest buzzing personalities on the internet right now. Everybody's talking about him from BBC to CNN to, you know, all the Vogue's Essence. Everybody is actually talking about this guy. But before I even delve into all of that, let me give you a brief background on this super duper dope personality, like I said earlier. Malik Afegbua is a Nigerian-born and based contemporary artist, virtual reality curator, and film director. The Bachelor of Arts graduate from the University of Surrey, London, is the lead visionary and chief executive officer of Slick City Media, a full-fledged innovative media production company with expertise across the entire media value chain, including film, TV production, documentaries, VR, films, commercials, corporate videos, visual marketing, media technology, and publishing. Malik is a culture architect who strongly believes in harnessing the enormous power of storytelling to shift mindsets and evoke emotions regardless of the medium of expression. Influenced by global culture and the endless possibilities that technological advancements offer, Malik brings masterpieces to life by combining different mediums to tell stories, utilizing virtual reality and blurring the lines of what reality as we know it now is. Some of his notable exhibitions include the PlusTvAfrica Digital Innovation Festival, South Africa, where he showcased his work with Meta and Meta's showcase of Africa's new XR creators. He also produced and directed the Netflix original documentary Made by Design. In addition, Malik has been recognized in top magazines like Vogue, where his iconic and vastly loved elderly digital fashion show made the headlines, as well as in Starwood and Tuco, amongst others. Malik is the CEO of production company Slick City Media that also runs a tech arm that services the extended reality industry. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for my brother, my friend, and of course, one of the greatest creators that Nigeria has ever made. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, I would just ask you guys to do me a favor. Get up on your feet right now as we welcome Slick City CEO, the one and only. Welcome to the show, brother. How you doing, man?
I'm great, man. Thank you for having me here.
All right, man. You've been doing a lot of work, and we've been seeing it out there. You know, what started this journey for you at Slick City? What was that void that you felt needed to be filled that made you start this journey?
I'm a very strong believer of how storytelling can shape the world, of how storytelling shaped, using Hollywood, using music, using films. That has shaped how we've, spoken in the past, how we dress up, how we look, how we react. And that's very big in terms of how you could pass messages down that could, shift cultures or imagination. So that's why one of the reasons why I always have storytelling as a backbone for everything I do.
Right.
And that's intentional storytelling when it comes to either the films, the documentaries, the virtual reality, or the art. There's an intentional backbone that has to do with storytelling about our culture and where we're going to as people.
Alrighty.
I mean, we've seen that you do like a lot of things. We're seeing film, we're seeing documentaries, we're seeing virtual reality as well. But one thing I want to ask is, we've seen the Elder series. That's like the fashion show for the elderly people in virtual reality. So, why the elders? Why the older people? How did you get there?
The Elder series, well, the fashion show for the elders is from the Elder series. And the Elder series is from a series that I have that we focus on, the marginalized. And in this case, it's the elderly people.
Oh, okay.
Especially black people. And that's why, because when you think about the elders, you don't see them in places like a fashion show. You don't see them at the beach. You just think of them at home. So I wanted to shift that perception of that, community.
That can be out there as well.
Exactly. So that was part of the reason why I did that.
All right, so artificial intelligence is a growing, industry, especially in Nigeria. I think it has been tapped in a few other countries, and it is still being tapped as well. And then you started with a lot of knowing you and knowing how you have been very creative. I remember the first time I saw a 360 camera, it was with you, right? And you were creating different stuff, and I have seen the evolution of how your craft has, emerged to a very evolved and even emerged to a certain height where you can actually look back and say, oh, I did this, right? Now I want to know, what would be your advice to a lot of people that want to come into that industry but they don't even have a clue? Because if you ask the average man on the street of Lagos and you ask him that, what is AI? Do you understand what I mean? Yeah. But how do you explain this to people that don't understand the bottom line definition and importance of what you're doing?
The only problem I see with all these things are the big words. All these words are big, but when you start playing in those spaces, they're not as complicated as they seem. The first thing is your interest in what you really want to do. And my interest in everything is looking for many different mediums that could advance my current medium. And that's tech. And tech is always, it always grows. You can't stop growing with tech. So for me, I started from when I was doing film or documentaries, I was looking for other mediums to enhance that, which is how I found virtual reality. Because in virtual reality, it enhances you watching from a traditional 2D space to an immersive space. You now experience the content you're watching rather. But I was now looking for other mediums as well. So for people that can't reach virtual reality, how would you, pass messages or tell a story, which is how I found artificial intelligence. So for me, it's all about research for the next tech, or for the tech that I could actually use to enhance, or the use that I could have access to enhance, if not now, but in the future. Because there are many programs or softwares that I have to sign up for a wait list. I wait like 8 or 9 months before I got on that. But I only know that information because I researched about it. So the first thing is about knowing exactly what you want to do, and all your information is out there on the internet. Google, YouTube, everything is out there. There are many places where you can learn how to start from, and it's not rocket science. Anybody literally can learn this. Yes, I'm a creative person, but I didn't study nothing creative in school. I went to business. I did business in school, so so I just tapped into my creative side and enhanced it, and here we are today.
All right, so this takes me to, follow a question, because this takes me to my next question. I'm a layman. I don't know about, any of these things.
Yeah.
How do you explain what you do to me?
I call myself a storyteller. And when I say storyteller, that's on many different levels. Because everything has that backbone for me. It could be virtual reality, it could be augmented reality, it could be art, it could be film, but everything surrounds storytelling. Because I'm intentional about the messages I'm passing. I'm not doing it because I'm just doing it for fun. I'm doing it because I enjoy doing it. I find ways to reach more people. The problems you had a few years ago with virtual reality is the accessibility to the tech. People say, okay, it might be hard to get, or it's expensive,
definitely.
But we're going to get to a space where it's everywhere in the future. But before we get to that space, how can I still reach more people with what I do, which is what I do with AI. And AI helps us to imagine and reimagine worlds that we could not normally, do. Not like, if I was drawing, for instance, the Incocholo tribe, because it's going to take me a very long time to put that into 3D Max or Blender or whatever to mold. But with AI, I could imagine and reimagine. I keep making different variations of that. So that helps enhance everything. So if I was to call myself anything, I'll call myself a storyteller with many different levels.
Amazing. Okay, so the whole industry of artificial intelligence, virtual reality, and extreme reality, I believe it's a very untapped industry in Nigeria, right? And you've given people the insights to see the possibilities, right? I would not even see the need to go for a live fashion show, because I could just, I could do it like the virtual reality way, right? And then designers could also feel like, oh, I don't even need to pay models to model the clothing. I'll just pay you to have you design the clothing or whatnot, and then we have it, put out there. So people might feel concerned that they might lose their jobs because this whole tech thing is coming into the space again. So how can we balance the two?
The truth of the matter is AI will always be AI, and there's no emotions behind it. It always takes a human being to add that emotion to get you that message. it's just a machine, and it's not autonomous, doesn't think by itself. You have to, prompt it to think. So when it comes to designers using the AI as models, that could only happen when it comes to pictures. You can't get the AI models to come and model on a live runway. So that's still there. So we still have all those human sides of everything. Even when it comes to even creating the world, say I want to be at home and I don't want to go to this fashion show.
Yeah.
That's making it inclusive. That's making it accessible for you wherever you are. So imagine you're pregnant, for instance, and you want to go to a concert and you can't physically get there, and you're using a virtual reality headset to be there, like you're on stage with the artist. That's something else. So that's what tech does for us. So you need to always look at the positive sides to everything. Tech could be left or right. So it depends on how you use it.
All right, so I picked up something that you said AI has no emotions to it. And, I want to know how this would actually translate to actual reality because, people sometimes need to feel the emotions. So, I could watch a concert from the comfort of my living room. But if I'm not on stage, the artist, like I actually want to be and touch, like if I can actually feel whiskey, do you know what I mean? It's a different feeling entirely. Now, how is all of this that you're doing, especially with the elderly fashion show, going to translate it to actual reality? Are there plans and works of you putting that, creating, the elderly people on runways and stuff like that?
Yeah, sure. So first of all, let's not confuse virtual reality and artificial intelligence, because the mediums are two different things. The virtual reality medium is to recreate reality wherever you are, and AI is to reimagine, what could be, pretty much. For the virtual reality side, it's something that we want to reach more people.
We have, sorry to cut you short, but we have Rita on the line. Hi, Rita. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, how you doing today? I'm sure you have a question for Malik, or you just want to talk?
Yes, I do.
All right, so yes, go ahead, please.
Okay, so my question is, for someone who wants to go into the AI business, how do I start and how do I learn it?
Like I said earlier, the information is out there. You just start Googling things. What is artificial intelligence? Everything is online. Everything has to do with artificial intelligence, open source. It's out there. The codes, everything are all free. So your first step is to research about it. What is this? What are the mediums I could use? What are the easiest mediums, first of all, I could use to access what I want to do? Then from there you grow. I could give you names: Stable Diffusion, Disco Diffusion, Midjourney, and the likes, DALL-E 2. All you have to do is find out on the different from inception up until how can I get a product from this, and in 1 week you're already doing something. I'm very sure about that.
Ah, really?
Yeah.
All right, but okay, Rita, do you still have another question, or do you think he's answered your question? All right. So for me, right, I also want to know, it's easy for you to say these things because it's your field. But, somebody that is going into it brand new, we need people like you to come up with like master classes, things like that. Is that something that, people should be expecting from you anytime soon? Like where you have a master class and you put other people that are in your field of work coming together to actually teach people and coach and mentor people into becoming, this type of superstar that you are.
Superstar. The funny thing is, before this even went viral, I was one person that I always ask anybody that I meet, have you heard of this tech? I always preach to people. I always say, try this. I know a bunch of people that have spoken about this tech months ago, even before it became popular now, just to show them the possibilities of doing it. And that's who I am. I'm always sharing knowledge. And yes, because for me, it's been experimental. I always try things from one, try out, up until I get to a point where I'm comfortable. I always make sure I have to be comfortable first before I, go that direction. But yeah, sometime in the future, I would be doing stuff like that. It might even be for free, so. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's something always key. Anyways, we have another caller on the line. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from? I think we lost our caller. Alrighty, so, another thing. Hi, where are you calling from?
So I have a question for the guest, Malik. So the thing is, I've seen a lot of your work online, and I've seen you have an academy because I'm still really, really interested in what you do.
Alrighty.
What's the
Ted,
question?
you have an academy.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they have an academy.
Yeah, I think that's part of what we're talking about.
Yeah, not yet. Not
Master
yet.
class.
Yes.
Not yet.
Yeah, not
Not
yet.
yet.
Not yet.
Hopefully. So.
Alrighty,
Hopefully soon.
so
I have one final question. So earlier you had mentioned that it wasn't exactly easy seeing or getting access to some of the technology that you need for these things, especially in Nigeria. So like what challenges have you faced and how have you been able to overcome them? Seeing that like doing it all here, there's a bit of limitation, and it's like I said, it's not a very it's not like a very plenty something that we're doing over here. So how is it, you know, possible for you to do it even with the challenges?
So based on my experience as a black man and as an African and as a Nigerian, these are three different things for me. I understand how harder we have to work for everything. And I understand when you get what you want, you still have to work harder. So for instance, I give you an example. DALL-E 2 is one of the AI apps that people had to go on a wait list for. Waited for months for it. So when they made it available to the world, Nigeria was not part of that world.
wow.
For another 2-3 months. I was asking why, so I had to use VPNs to access it.
Wow.
You know, so we still have all these problems about, you know, this part of the world that we're not being included to a bunch of things.
Yeah.
You know, but still, that's not going to stop me. I'll find other means to get it. You know, and we have to find a place in our minds or by ourselves to say, regardless of these challenges in front of us, we as people would find ways to make it work, because you can't sit back and say, oh, because of this, I'm not going to do that. We have a lot of lost history that we need to bring back. We have a lot of lost cultures and heritage that we need to fight to bring back. So it's important.
You know, that brings it to my next question, because, you know, I was going to ask you, you know, a lot of people are just seeing the AI part, and, you know, we saw the way, you know, your followership grew just from this premium step that you took, right? But people don't know that you've been putting in the work from time. Like it's been from a journey of being a content creator to also being a video director to also, you know, doing commercials, doing films, doing short films, and of course you were nominated at Sundance as well, right?
No, not Sundance.
Not Sundance. It
I
wasn't.
wish.
We're getting there, right? There was a festival your short film.
It was, actually it was a few festivals. The Real, I need to go back and check that because
I know, but
like four festivals.
You know, people don't know a lot of those things. They're just seeing the new projection, and they didn't go back to go check out all of these things. So my question for you is that you're a storyteller, according to you, and Nollywood is supposed to be telling our story properly. Now, I want to know how artificial intelligence and, of course, you know, virtual reality and all of that will translate into our Nollywood, you know. If, you know, we have more manpower and we have more people that are vested or going into this industry and putting in the work, how do you think this would translate in our Nollywood industry?
Like Nollywood is growing, and we're still growing in terms of, you know, the kind of content that we put out there. And you need to know what place a tech is or where it stands in anything. So where this stands in something is to reimagine or visualize a film before you actually shoot that film. The privilege we had before this was storyboarding or having an idea of, or using references from other films of what it would look like. But now with AI, you could have an exact or very close to an exact image.
Now we can do
what you want.
Exactly. You could go back to the drawing board, do your storyboard, and get those actual things. And that's what I've been doing for my films, to visualize that. I'm having conversations with a bunch of, you know, massive studios now about it, because now they could see the picture even before investing in it. They could see it before shooting it. So it's going to make it grow in like a lot. It's going to make it a lot better with the quality, you know, that they already have good quality, but it's going to, you know, shoot that up even more.
Alrighty, man, it's been amazing. And for people that still don't know where to find you, please,
where can we find
can
you?
they find you on socials?
All my socials are slickcityceo. My company page is slickcity.tv. or Slick City XR. Anything Slick City, you find me there.
Alrighty, man. Thank you guys for watching, and of course, special thank you to our studio guest Malik Afegbua. And of course, this is where we wrap up today. But thanks for watching. As always, do join the conversation on social media with the hashtag Tea Time. And remember, you can catch up on our previous episodes, including this very one, and all our exclusive contents by doing what? Subscribing to our YouTube channel at PlusTvAfrica Lifestyle. You can also watch Tea Time on Alta TV and in London on Ben Television and Star Times channel 308. A big thank you goes out to the adult queen,
Thank you,
course, for
thank
always
you, thank
holding
you.
me down with her intelligent contributions. And of course, thank you for watching Plus TV Africa's Tea Time. My name is Ife Oshukeye.